Good morning. Good morning. My name is Bill. It's March 1st, 2020, and we have some problems we need to solve. They're scary problems, they're overwhelming problems. They seem bigger than anything we've ever imagined, and in fact, they are bigger than anything we've ever imagined in the history of humankind. But together we can solve them, and that's what I want to talk to you about. We're destroying our planet, uh, over yet we have things that the first time in the history of man, 2 million years, we've got the ability to actually make useful energy without burning anything. But like always, that useful energy comes from the sun, the wind, and running water or hydroelectric. But we also have other natural, clean fuels called like natural gas that's coming out of the ground anyway that we need to use. And when we combine those things, we can support a new industry that is a very low carbon and clean industry. And most importantly, we can support that industry in places where there's never been industry before, where there's billions of people or hundreds of millions of people languishing in, abject poverty, not languishing. I mean, my God, they're in abject poverty. But they're in lands that if they were taught to farm, if they were taught to be productive rather than just considered, aborigines or, indigenous people, they could be productive, but we need to bring market interface to them. And one of the things they need, and recently I took a trip to Kenya, courtesy of the governor of Isiolo province, and we went out in the countryside and I interviewed people because there's a lot of good ideas I thought were just great ideas that we went over and they've already tried them and they didn't work. But I was able to talk to them and find out why they didn't work. And there's reasons why they didn't work. Lots of them from, we can go on and on about, where things have gotten messed up. But what I also saw is that they can work. And for example, in this one area, subsistence farmers, they can grow tomatoes, they can grow, they could grow lettuce if, we gave them the seeds. But the market is like days walk away and all the vegetables would spoil. As tomatoes all ripen at the same time, they'd all spoil. So they don't have a market to sell them to. And as a result, the produce goes bad. But if we have refrigeration, that can change. If we have a market where we can buy that produce when it's fresh and we can refrigerate it, and even more is the fundamental food crop of all time, which is dairy milk. It is a whole food. But dairy milk can only go 40 minutes maximum without refrigeration to maintain its top quality. And we can put in dairy plants, we can put in refrigeration, we can put in milking plants, but we need refrigeration, and we don't need refrigeration, when the sun shines or when the wind's blowing. We need refrigeration 100% of the time, and we need it to be reliable. Well, we can do that now. We can do that because we found ways we have the sun, we have the wind, they'll make electricity when it does. We're going to be building hydroelectric, which, can take the excess energy, but we also have more natural gas than the world can use, and it's being burned somewhere, but we can turn it into LNG, and we can bring that to our dairy and have LNG and natural gas fired generation, and between the LNG and the solar and the wind and the hydro, we can have the kind of reliable electricity that we've never had before, and we can have it out close to the points of production, out close to the points where these tens of millions of people are living in abject poverty. And what that does is it allows us to create a markets and an economy out where these people are so that they can grow products. We can manage the seed they get. And as they grow the products and harvest them, we can buy them. We can set up a cooperative. We can buy the milk. We can process the milk. And we can do this because we can set up reliable energy systems that are no more expensive than the old, you got to wait on a wire and pay an extraordinary price. We can set those up, and we can set dairies up, and we can set them up within a walk of where these people are at. So when the produce is fresh and it's all harvest, they have a market to sell it to. And that's what we can do with I think they're calling it a new energy economy, but what we're really doing is creating an economy, a place where we can put in now industry, empowered industry, state-of-the-art industry, and we can put it close enough to the farm areas that the farmers have access and benefit. And these farmers now who can't buy anything and just survive on what they can grow, they'll actually be making enough money to buy things and be a consumer. And when we have the revenues from selling milk or selling meat products that are worth as much in Kenya as they are any place in the world, those revenues then will flow down to the various suppliers and all the way down to our workers. And all of a sudden now we have a workforce and a bunch of farmers who are now consumers, they're prosperous, and we're using everything we've learned in 2 million years about, how not to do things. And, I'm not upset about that because, when there were only 2 or 3 billion people on the earth, we had these extractive economies where we'd go in and take the gold and everything else and, leave them broke. But we didn't have economies where we grew food. We didn't have economies where, cropping was done in a way, and what we've learned now for regenerative farming is the cropping can be done in a way that actually is going to take this dying, desertifying grasslands and start bringing it back to the verdant state where it's healthy and the soil has organisms in it and it will grow wonderful crops because we've learned how to do this over the last few years. And so now what we're doing is taking the learning of mankind and applying it and breaking away from we're going to buy this product or this product or this product or this product. What we're going to do is we're going to make milk and food products of the very highest quality. We're going to make them close enough to workers that they will be able to grow first quality, we'll be able to support them with revenue and microloans, and they'll be able to grow it and bring it to a market that is there, and that market provides revenues for everybody in the supply chain, all the way down to the farmers to be able to prosper and thrive. And we solve problems like education and of course, poverty and hunger goes away. The education is there because when the farmers are making money, they can send their kids to school. And when we're making money, we can afford to put in housing so that these people that are working for us, they can actually go home at the end of the day or before they come to work, they can take a shower and be clean. We can give them uniforms. We can do everything that the best countries in the world do because we're going to have revenue stream based on what the best countries in the world can do. And we've learned it. We've learned that things are not infinitely available, but we can restore what's there so that we're not going to run out of anything for the world. And we can do this with a clean energy economy and a balanced economy. I think regenerative is a word I really like because I've always thought that way since the population was only 3 billion people. That wasn't that long ago. Okay, so, but we can do this, and all we need to do is work together. So today, what I really am talking about is people, let's work together. Let's use everything that everybody has. Let's say we're going to address food scarcity, we're going to address poverty, we're going to address hunger, we're going to do it profitably, and we're going to do it sustainably so that these people will have prosperity for generations and the world will be in a better shape. And we're not going to be polluting things, we're not going to be using things up. I mean, we've got what we need to do it right. And that is what everything Altresco is doing, and it takes financing, but if you can see the whole picture, the financing becomes a lot easier because you can see the revenue, but you have to be able to see it. And what I'm dedicated to is helping people have the vision and see the vision that will allow this whole thing to start to blossom in areas that have just been destitute, completely overlooked, and just they don't even count. But we can, again, that's creating a whole new economy, not an energy economy. The energy is allowing us to create the economy, but the economy, which includes trade, we have to have revenue, we're going to have money, we're going to have income. But with that income, as we distribute it, people are going to be able to buy things. And we end up with an independent economy where there's been no hope. And I'm very excited about this, and this Sunday morning is the first time I've made a video to share this excitement with you. But it's all about teaching. It's all about helping people get straight answers, and approaching it like we're a parts store. Okay, you're doing this, here's what we can bring to help you do what you do so you can do it best so that this whole economy can thrive and our world can truly become a better place. I know we can do that, and I'm very passionate about it, but you can see it also makes me emotional because we just don't have to keep destroying the world. We don't have to keep hurting everybody. Everybody can win, and we can win, make it a better place and a better planet, and all we have to do is appreciate that everybody counts and help everybody do it, and it just inherently solves problems like population and other things because we've got health care available. We just have so many things we can do, but what we've never really had the opportunity before is go out in these places, have energy reliability, and be able to create a whole economy that supports this new world and supports it in a way that is not using anything up, is thriving, is growing, and will continue to for as long as we can see, because certain principles, when you get them headed in the right direction, that's where homeostasis can win, because once you've got something headed in the right direction, it'll keep going in that direction, provided you build in the management support. And again, that's another thing that we do, which is help investors and lenders see the value of the businesses that are on top, that are between these, so that we can get investors and financing. And the investors will have the first non-depleting investment they've ever had. The world's going to get better. The investment's going to get stronger. The income's going to get better. And our whole world and everybody in it can live better and happier and be more peaceful, because we don't have to destroy each other anymore to survive. Those days are past. Now, I don't know what the new world is where we don't need to compete and destroy our neighbors in order for our group to survive, but we're going to find out. I'm willing to take the risk that when everything's going right and it's working for everybody, we'll figure out a way to do that too. So thank you for letting me share this on this Sunday morning, because I hope this is a demarcation of when we're really starting to bring all of our teams together and do this. This is my dream, and I spent my whole life learning this. I want to share that with you. I want to share that with everybody. And that's my mission. Have a wonderful day. And it's sunny here in Grand Junction, Colorado. And I can actually dream that it can get sunnier and happier as we go forward, and that everything is beautiful and can be upside from here. Well, thank you very much for your time.